Venom, Let There Be Carnage. This movie right here is amazing to be PG-13. Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy Black Hammer once again, and we're going to be talking about this movie right here, Venom, Let There Be Carnage. This is pretty much like Venom Part 2. This has been in the works for a long time, and they finally released it sooner than what a lot of people were saying. But I seen it, and just right off the bat, the visual effects is on point. I mean, of course, you got Sony and you got Marvel working in the same studio, putting in millions of, probably billions, I don't want to say billions, but millions upon millions of dollars into this production. So you already know the visual effects, the sound, the music, the audio, just the whole works is going to be amazing. So I have no issues with that there. It's funny. Sometimes it gets to the point to where it could almost cross the line to being a little corny, but they kind of hold back, which I appreciate it because I don't like movies trying too hard to be funny. Then it gets a little corny, then it's a little like, yeah, you're doing a little too much. So this show or this movie does pretty good at kind of not crossing that line to where it's funny. I did have some genuine LOLs happen, and it wasn't just drawn out way too much. One thing I did like was the bond that Venom and Eddie Brock had. It kind of reminded me of Winter Soldier and the Falcon, kind of how they kind of had that, beef between each other, but they worked well with each other, but they're always giving each other hard times throughout the show. So in this movie, I mean, they definitely draw that out. Like, that's probably like a third of this movie is Venom and Eddie Brock kind of working, or not even, well, at the end, I guess they kind of worked it out, but just kind of struggling with their relationship. And I'm not gonna say anything too much right now. I'm gonna leave that for the spoiler towards the end of this video, but it was an interesting dynamic, and once again, it was funny. I appreciated that, and they didn't kind of draw out the funniness too long, so that's kind of what kept the movie going, and I appreciated that. Of course, you have Marvel and Sony putting money towards the visual side, the audio side, and putting in all the money for the actors. I mean, they got some grade A actors in this movie, but one thing that money can't buy is a good storyline. The storyline to me kind of throughout the movie had me thinking like, why is this happening? And like I said, I'm not gonna give you any spoilers until the end of this video, but it just really had me thinking like, is this it? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a fan of the Carnage comic books. I've read a couple, I've seen a couple from, on YouTube obviously, but and just comparing any comic honestly to the movie, when you see Carnage, it was kind of a letdown because the Carnage that they depicted in the movie is way different from the ones that is in any comics. So when I kind of was watching the movie, it kind of just confused me on like, why is this happening? Why is this character's motives pointed towards this way? Because that just kind of threw everything off for me. I mean, my overall feel of this movie is, if you're just looking for Carnage, good FX, good sound, fighting, Venom, there's really no blood, but there's like, symbiotic ooze flying everywhere, and it's people being thrown off buildings and landing and fire and just all that, cars blowing up, airplanes blowing up. I mean, everything's blowing up in this movie. If you want to just see that and you don't really care about the storyline, you just want to see, Venom versus Carnage, honestly, like that's pretty much what this is supposed to be. It hits it on the nail, and to me, if that's what you're looking for, you're gonna get it. So here you go. But let's get into some spoilers, because I have to get into the spoilers to really let you understand why or what points I was really disappointed in the movie. So I'm letting you know now, we are going to be talking about spoilers. This is my first video talking about spoilers, so I don't want people getting mad in the comic section. I mean, no one's in my comic section right now, but I mean, you know what I'm saying. I just want to prepare you guys that I'm going to be telling some detailed information about this movie. So here we go. So like I said at the beginning of this video, it is PG-13, which means everybody, you know, pretty much 13 and up can see it. So of course they're not going to make this a rated R movie, because if you make it a PG-13, that means you're selling more tickets for kids to come see it with their parents, and you know, just a whole family can watch this movie. The kids are not gonna go to sleep having nightmares, you know, because some of my kids honestly probably would, but as an adult, as someone who read some Carnage comic books, it is all about Carnage. And I mean, if you look up the definition, Carnage, you will know that it's supposed to be blood. It's supposed to be massive bloodshed, like everywhere, heads rolling off, like just body parts just thrown up against the wall, and you know, just blood and guts and ass everywhere. You know what I'm saying? And you don't see that, which once again, I understand they want to sell more tickets, so they want to kind of make it more kid friendly, you know, family friendly, which I get. But if one of these movies can actually do that, like Blade or movies of that nature, then I can see the comics actually come to life. Because if they did this kind of work with a movie like Blade, it would be not good. I couldn't find a word other than not good. It would be horrific. It would be a tragic. You know what I'm saying? So with Let There Be Carnage, I think it was kind of a letdown because it wasn't really Carnage. There was a jail scene, which, I mean, you guys seen the trailer, but it should have been a lot worse. Like, yeah, there were, you know, a few cops that, you know, prison guards that died, some people thrown against walls, and, you know, no blood spatter, which was weird. But I mean, if Carnage was to really just unleash in a place like that, everybody would have died. Even like Carnage let the inmates survive. Carnage would have just wiped out everybody. Wouldn't let a single person live in that place. So that kind of just like had me scratching my head, like, why is he just letting them live? Like, he's supposed to be Carnage. That's his main objective, is to cause as much, you know, pain and grief and death as much as possible. That's his only goal. So that kind of let me down in that area. And one thing you're gonna notice is the relationship between Eddie Brock, Venom, his ex-fiance, and Cletus. Some of those relationships on the screen kind of had me confused. Like at the end, when Venom killed off Cletus, before he died, he said, "The only thing I wanted from you is to be a friend." And that had me confused, because it's like, why does he want a friend? Like, he's a serial killer. He has Carnage, which his main objective is just to kill people. So it's like, why does he want a friend? Like, just go out there and just kill people. I'm not promoting killing people. I mean, YouTube guys, please don't flag this video. But that was his main objective. It would have made more sense, instead of him wanting to be a friend, so he got a little butt hurt, so he just wanted to like focus on him and kill him. That kind of threw me off. And then the relationship between Eddie Brock and his ex-girl, like, I understand she was in the first movie, and you know, they probably paid her a couple thousands to, you know, to continue on to the second one, but I don't really understand why she was in the movie. Like, I understand, you know, to kind of give us more of Eddie Brock's backstory as a human on his human side, and not like the superhero side, but you know, to kind of give us more of him. But it's like, she didn't do anything. It, to me, honestly, it was just like, you know, filler. They were just trying to fill in some time, and it's like, okay, like, I guess if we gotta watch this, but if I had a remote, I honestly probably would have fast forward, you know, through those parts. It's like, we don't need to see that. We don't really care. Just kind of progress through the movie so we can see Venom versus Carnage. But overall, guys, it was definitely an entertaining movie. I laughed. I you know, was focused in, locked in onto the movie. Like I said, like visually, it was perfect. The acting was grade A. Is really nothing to complain about that part. Of course, there was some drag on parts. Like, okay, we get it. You're having relationship issues. Now let's get back to the fighting. But other than that, it was a very entertaining movie, and I would definitely recommend going to the movie theaters and seeing this movie. But honestly, I want to hear what you guys think about this movie. I'm not just making these videos just to see myself talk, which, you know, I don't mind watching myself, but I want to have a conversation about movies like this and movies to come. So go ahead, leave a comment, tell me what you guys think about this movie, and let's have that conversation. Once again, it's your boy Black Hammer, and I will see you guys in the next review. Peace.